So let's take a look at Ben Hogan Tucson golf swing from fall of 2020. First we'll take a look at the face view, and then we'll look at a down the line view. Here is P1, which is address position. Here is P1.5, which is early in the takeaway on the backswing. Here is position 2, where the club is parallel to the ground and is hip high in the backswing. Notice that Ben has not swayed to the right on the backswing. It's a centered swing with this iron shot. Here is P3 when the left arm is parallel to the ground in the backswing. Here is P4 at the top of the backswing. There's a good shoulder turn, left shoulder is down, left arm is straight. Hips have not swayed to the right. Weight is favoring the left side. Left toe is pointing slightly toward the target. Here is P5 when the left arm is parallel to the ground. In the downswing, the weight is moving further to the left. Hips are sliding a little bit to the left and turning at the same time. Left leg is beginning to straighten. Here is P6 when the club is parallel to the ground and hip high on the downswing. Here is P7, which is impact or near impact. Notice that there's a lot of forward shaft lean, which is a good thing, especially with an iron. So you hit it with a downward angle of attack. Here is just after impact. We'll call this P7.5. The club shaft is in line with the left arm, and the right wrist is still bent back at this point in time. Here is P8 when the club is parallel to the ground after impact. We'll call this P9.5. P9 is actually when the right arm is parallel to the ground after impact, and this photo occurs a little bit after P9. Here is P10, the finish. The weight is on the left side. The spine is extended. He's still a little bit tilted to the right and heading for that finish position. Now let's take a look at the down the line view. Here's P1, address position, again with an iron. We'll call this P1.5. Early in the takeaway, notice that the leading edge is parallel to his spine. Looks a little closed, which I like. Here's P2 when the club is parallel to the ground on the backswing. Again, the club face is parallel to the spine. Here's P3 where the left arm is parallel to the ground on the backswing. Club is pointing to the left. Right knee has straightened, left knee has flexed, left shoulder is down, maintaining the spine tilt, and weight is still on the left side. Here's P4 at the top of the backswing. Notice that the left wrist is flat. Some people like to put a slight arch in there nowadays, like maybe John Rahm or Jordan Spieth, or a big arch like Dustin Johnson. Club face is maybe a hair on the closed side. Here's P5 when the left arm is parallel to the ground in the downswing. Here's maybe P5.5, which would be between P5 and P6. The left wrist is staying flat or perhaps slightly arched. And Ben is beginning to rotate. Here's P6 when the club is parallel to the ground on the downswing. Club head might be a little bit too much on an inside-out path. Ben is working on trying to get the club a little bit less behind him at that point in time. This would be perhaps P6.5 just before impact. Notice that the club face is squared to the path. He may be coming at it a little bit inside out on the path. And he's getting ready to hit with a downward angle of attack. Here's P7, impact. The ball has just left the club head. Club face is square to the path. He has a downward angle of attack because of the nature of the iron shot. His weight is mostly on the left side. He's beginning to extend and rotate, but keeping his tilt toward the ball, keeping that angle of inclination to the right. I would call this around P7.5, somewhere between P7 and P8. And Ben's hands are going to be disappearing behind his body, and yet the club head is a little bit to the right of his hands, which I like. Ball is heading off pretty straight. Ben still has a tilt to the right, but he is extending at the spine. Here's P9, where the left arm is parallel to the ground. After impact, you can see that the club shaft is exiting the body around the left shoulder and is maybe 45 degrees to the horizon. This might be called P9.5, almost to the finish. Ben has rotated his hips, his maintaining an angle of inclination to the ground, a little right lateral bend. His head is again tilted to the right. He's looking down the fairway. Hands are pretty high at this point. Weight is on the left side. These are a lot of features of the stack and tilt swing. You can go to YouTube, for example, and look up Nick Taylor Golf, and there's some good videos on the stack and tilt method. You can also look at Saguto Golf, S-A-G-U-T-O Golf, for some fun videos on stack and tilt method. So this is position 10, the finish, and there are a lot of features of stack and tilt type swing in Ben's swing. Again, Andy Plummer and Mike Bennett wrote a very good book on the stack and tilt golf swing. And again, the YouTube has some videos with Nick Taylor, Saguto Golf, and other golfers who discuss the stack and tilt type swing. And a big thank you to Corey Bayman, who is Ben's golf coach in Tucson, Arizona, for helping him over the last few years.